From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Karen Rebo. It's December. It's also Cyber Monday today. And still, the national postal strike continues early in this busy holiday season. But while talks with a special mediator remain suspended, yesterday did see a little bit of movement. Canada Post says it has presented the Canadian Union of Postal Workers with a framework to reach negotiated agreements, including proposals to bring greater flexibility to the delivery model and movement on other key issues. The union says its negotiators are reviewing the documents. It adds both it and the post office have adjusted their demands in the hopes the federal special mediator will restart talks. A Friday night dinner between Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and U.S. President-elect Donald Trump in Florida touched on a lot of issues, but one in particular. Our ambassador has told some things to the Associated Press.
Canada's ambassador to the United States, Kirsten Hillman, says Trudeau's Friday night dinner in Florida with Trump focused mainly on the border. Hillman says one of Trudeau's priorities was to ensure Trump is aware of the differences between Canada's border with the U.S. and America's southern border with Mexico. Trump has threatened both Canada and Mexico with 25% tariffs on all goods into the U.S. if they don't stop the inflow of drugs and illegal migration. Hillman says Canada is ready to make new investments in border security and has plans for more helicopters, drones, and law enforcement officers. David Bowles, The Canadian Press.
A town in central Ontario's Muskoka region has declared a state of emergency after being hit with about 1.4 meters of mostly lake-effect snowfall Friday into Sunday. Gravenhurst reports the declaration was a response to a prolonged highway closure, stalled motorists, and limited emergency services. After promising not to issue a pardon for his son, U.S. President Joe Biden announced last night he was wiping out Hunter's convictions on federal gun and tax charges. This could spare Hunter prison time ahead of a possible Trump loyalist leading the FBI. While not the first to help out a family member with a presidential pardon, the news was still surprising yesterday. Here's ABC's Andrew Dimbert.
Hunter's pardon covers not just the gun and tax offenses, but also any other offenses against the United States which he has committed or may have committed or taken part in during the period from January 1st, 2014 through December 1st, 2024. Biden explaining the pardon, saying raw politics has infected this process and it led to a miscarriage of justice.
Today is Cyber Monday, expected to be among Canada's busiest online shopping days of the year. Also new today, the Oxford University Press is out with its word of the year, which is brain rot. Reporter Rhiannon Alley explains what it means.
It is defined as the supposed deterioration of a person's mental or intellectual state, especially viewed as a result of overconsumption of material considered to be trivial or unchallenging, like social media.
Dictionary.com last week named its word of the year demure. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, in NBA action last night, Mississauga, Ontario's RJ Barrett led all scorers with 37 points as the Toronto Raptors held off the Miami Heat 119-116. Barrett has been red hot when the Raptors play at home.
We have such amazing fans. They really pick us up. Whenever we go on a run, everything feels better.
In the NFL, the Buffalo Bills beat the visiting San Francisco 49ers 35-10 last night in a shaken snow globe of a game. Driving snow fell throughout the game at Highmark Stadium, Buffalo improving to 10-2 to lock up the AFC East for the fifth straight year. Seahawks defensive end Leonard Williams scored on a 92-yard interception return to help Seattle beat the New York Jets 26-21. NHL action, Winnipeg dropped a third straight game, falling 3-1 to host Dallas. The Jets are losing their grip on first place in the Western Conference. The Minnesota Wild have pulled even with them atop the standings. From the Canadian Press, I'm Karen Rebo.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.